A week flies by, but sometimes it doesn't seem like a week is long enough between races. Welcome everybody to round 7 of season 3 of FRL. We're racing this week in Singapore, Marina Bay. In the background, you're seeing highlights of season 3, round 6, but we're not looking at round 6. We're looking forward to Singapore. And I do want to discuss round 6 for just a second though, because Jack, after penalties were applied to RoLoSky, was able to win and take the top step of the podium, pushing RoLoSky into second. 8 seconds of penalties being applied to him. Barthez in P3, True Hero 4th. And I just love this moment. I just love this. Just JJ being a Kimi Räikkönen. It's absolutely great. Talking about our Drivers' Championship, RoLoSky dominating this season so far in first place. Jack in second in the Red Bull. Noda in third place, being able to make up some places and gain some points. Wasserschwein in 4th. Graxent in 5th, pushing to try to see what he can do. Your defending Season 2 champion. Constructors' Championship, AlphaTauri maintaining the lead. Red Bull not making any places up. McLaren up. Haas, Ferrari, Mercedes, Williams, Aston Martin, Alpine, and Alfa Romeo still not having the strongest season. I know some of these drivers have been talking about Singapore. Singapore is a street circuit, so definitely keep your eyes on the Ferrari after a stellar performance in Monaco. Definitely look forward to see what they can do, but don't count out the AlphaTauris. Don't count out anybody in this race. There's a lot of predictions going around. Nobody knows what to expect. Drivers list. You have a full 20 driver grid. Every one of your drivers checked in. Every one of them are going to be racing today. Absolutely should be an exciting race, and I hope you'll stick around to enjoy it. This is round 7 of your FRL League. Something exciting we do want to discuss here in the intro while the drivers are still queuing up for qualifying is the fact that Season 4 has officially been announced. You'll see the calendar up in a minute, but it features 14 tracks. 14 exciting tracks. Coda, Singapore, Hungary, just to name a few of them. Silverstone is going to be the finisher of the season. Should be super exciting. That kicks off January 9th of 2022 and runs 14 weeks every Sunday at the same time. Also, we will have a second split that will be running before that. That split will come in at 7 p.m. Central European time, so that will be running before. It's going to be a split that allows full assist. It's for the novice drivers, the ones who have never done league racing, to get their feet wet. So it's definitely one that I hope you come in and that you'll enjoy and take a look at. Looks like the drivers are queuing up for qualifying, so let's go ahead and jump in with them and let's see what we can get going here. Looks like first drivers out on track are going to be Crazy Boy, RoLoSky, Vixie, Insidious, Pafixian, Saintex, and Debe. If you're new to the league, they run one 18-minute qualifying session. No Q1, Q2, Q3, one 18-minute section, and then they run a 50% race. Looks like the first driver is making their way down. It looks like that is going to be Saintex, who is on the first driver on a flying lap. Coming around turn 4 there. No issues. Coming through turn 5. Looking really strong from his perspective. He's a driver that we'll jump on with later, and he sent in a time trial lap, and I'll show you just what the drivers see when they're driving in. We'll wait for some of these first out laps to go through, some of these first times to get posted before we look into that. Coming through the middle sector. Look at him just throwing it over the curb, demanding that Ferrari to do what he wants. He's not holding back. And commentators cursed. Well, there goes that lap for Saintex. Looks like the rear end just kind of snapped loose on him a little bit. Definitely held him down. He's still purpled the middle sector, but he's also the first car out. So that would be what I would expect. Insidious right behind him, though, on a flying lap. Sets a 104.779 coming through the middle sector. We'll see what he can do. He's got traffic coming up ahead. We'll see if drivers are able to get out of his way or if he's going to have to fight and go around cars and how that affects his time. It looks like that is going to be one of the Alpines in front of him spun out. Could have been Luo, I believe, who was on a lap as well. Let's see here in front of him. We'll see what the Red Bull does here in front of him. Gets out of the way. It looks like Red Bull may have went into the pits. And Insidious spins it coming around. And that is going to be his qualifying session over. Bartosz getting disqualified. Didn't see what happened there. Oh, looks like these drivers are going to struggle with this track. I know a lot of them were discussing that this track was being very hard to handle. Asking for tips from different racers. Asking for different things they could do on the track. Looked like some strong performances coming through, but that final corner is going to be tough, and so is this corner here in the middle sector. Looks like the Alpine of Luo has invalidated his lap time. Let's jump on here with Wasserschwein, his teammate. Vixie setting the fastest lap so far with a 138.7. We're going to follow Wasserschwein through the rest of his lap. Barthez with a 137.9. I know drivers in time trial were setting around 135s, I believe, so that should be the time that we look for. And Wasserschwein going into the pits, not looking to finish that lap. Luo's in the pits as well. Auski's coming around in the third sector. Looks like you've got True Hero, who is leading another pack of cars around to the start-finish line, coming through, and he's going to invalidate his lap as well. Track limits is going to be an issue for these drivers, it appears. Matty coming around the final corner. He is going to set a 137.0, putting his Williams up on top. Noda right behind him, though, with a 136.2, not letting Matty get anything. There is rain for the race as well, I'm seeing. Unfortunately, with the way it's set up, we don't get a great view of what the rain's predicted, what the weather is predicted for the race, but I do know the drivers get to, and I already see the messages coming through, oh no, rain. So definitely keep your eye on the race. If you don't want to see qualifying, you're going to want to see the race, but you need to watch qualifying as well. It's great to see these drivers go flat out and see what they can put together here. Noda's still coming around, looking good. Let's catch up with JJ here. JJ doing very strong for Ferrari last race, doing very well for them. We'll see what he can put together here. Him and Saintex are drivers that absolutely love these street circuits and seem to thrive. Saintex, of course, finishing Monaco, wet race, was able to put it together and have absolutely no issues. Didn't stop, stayed on one set of wet tires the whole race, had an absolutely flawless race. But that's Saintex. And then JJ, finishing P6, finishing P5 in France, has had 2 DNFs. His teammate has had 4 DNFs in 5 races. Ferrari definitely looking to bring it back strong and be strong in this race. Crazy Boy in the Haas is out on an outlap. Crazy Boy is a driver that definitely is one to look for as well. He has 3 DNFs this season, but when he has finished, he's finished top 6. Keep your eye on him. ADGamer is one that I am personally looking to very hard. ADGamer finishing first in Spain. Absolutely glorious finish after being able to follow the lead of Wasserschwein and go on to intermediates before anyone else. Everybody threw away that race, but he was able to go through. And let's follow ADGamer through this lap. He's going out on a set of mediums to set his time so far. Looks like that is the Mercedes getting out of his way, no issues. He is pushing really hard coming through. Absolutely glorious, holding flat out, not holding anything back here. This is probably an installation lap for him, letting him see the track, get comfortable, and he'll probably come out again on a set of softs and throw through. That's what a lot of these drivers like to do. They like to do a set of intermediates or a set of mediums just to get comfortable. You can see ADGamer in the background getting a little loose in the rear end, but still able to keep it together there. A lot of these drivers like to go out on just a set of burner tires and just throw in a banker lap just to see the track, just to get comfortable, and then they'll come back through on the set of softs and really throw it around and see what time they can set. Coming through the second sector. Great rotation of the car. Great use of the curbs. So far looking really strong, but Noda with that 136.2. 0.8 of a second up on Matty. Looking great coming through the third sector. Final corner. We'll see what he can put up here. Still says he's going. Interesting. Oh, and there's a spin around. He put in a 138.1, so very strong lap from him. Puts him up into P7. Let's jump down here with Wasserschwein, who is going through. He's invalidated his lap. Luo coming around the third sector currently at a 127. Looks like he's going to have strong pace today, potentially. We'll see what he can do here coming through the final corner. And it looks like Luo put in a 138.0. Strong time. RoLoSky, your championship leader, posted earlier today that he put in a 134.9 coming into this race in time trial. So it'll be interesting to see what he can put there. JJ on an outlap. Crazy Boy and Jacker in the pits. True Hero is on an outlap. RoLoSky on an outlap as well. Looks like True Hero may potentially have some damage, or he's just going really slow. Wasserschwein coming around. He invalidated his lap. Let's see if we can jump in here. Mathic's coming around the second sector, looking really good. Looks like he's going to have some traffic to compete with, setting purple in Sector 2. You can see the Haas gets out of his way, no issues there. Continuing to fly through here. Just great control of his car, and he is going to set a 138.4, putting him into P9. Looks like JJ is out on a flyer as well. We'll keep up with him and see how he does here. Just these drivers impress me because they're able to hold this down. After JJ's lap, we'll look at a time trial lap, and I'll show you exactly what some of these drivers see. FRL is a league that does allow some assist in their first split. As we discussed, there are going to be 2 splits next season. This is something I know a lot of the drivers are excited about. Drivers won't be allowed to drive in both splits, but to give you an idea here of what they're going to be allowed to do, drivers in Split 2 can be reserves in Split 1, but Split 2 has the same rules and calendar as Split 1. Split 2 is running at 7 p.m. Central European time, and that will be handled by the same group of stewards. It's definitely going to be a very fun split. It's aimed for beginner and amateur drivers. All assist will be enabled for that. If you're unfamiliar with FRL, you would be watching what's considered the first split for next season, and they are only allowed select assist for what they can do. Something I know a lot of these drivers, a lot of these teams are excited for is JJ puts in a 136.097 purple through, and that is going to be a very competitive time for all of these drivers. Let's see who's next to come through. Next to come through, it looks like was Matt. Nope, not Matty. It was Luo, and he goes into the pits. You can see the McLaren coming around. Noda puts in a 135.8 and beats out JJ's time by 2/10. Next driver coming around is going to be the Mercedes here of Vixie. Let's see what he can put together here. Looks like he's going to come around and put in a 138.6. Not able to improve any there. Next car coming around is going to be Crazy Boy. Looking really good coming through the third sector, going around, and it looks like he is going to put in a 138.2, taking him up into P13. 16 drivers still with us in this qualifying session. Insidious, Saintex, Pafixian, and Bartosh are currently out. Looks like a lot of drivers are out on flyers currently. It looks like we are going to be seeing Jack coming across start-finish line. Jack putting in a 137.58, putting him up into 4th place. We'll see who the next driver is to come around. JJ going to the pits. He's got the Mercedes of Wasserschwein right behind him. Coming behind them is going to be Owski, who's out on an outlap, so this will start his flyer. 3 minutes to go in this qualifying session here for your Singapore Grand Prix in FRL Season 3, Round 7. DRS Open coming through one of 3 DRS zones here in Singapore. Great on the brakes coming around. Goes a little over the curb, but it looks like he did that well. He's got a McLaren right behind him as well. Looks like that is going to be Barthez, who is on his outlap, so should not be an issue here for Owski. Let's see, 2.5 minutes ago, I would guess that this is going to be the point where we see a lot of drivers starting to come out of the pits, putting in final laps, trying to see what kind of times they can put together. But Noda with that 135.8, that is going to be a very, very strong competitive time. I'm curious to see who can beat it. RoLoSky, your championship leader, a 136.2. Graxent, your defending champion, at a 136.9. Owski currently the slowest driver on track with a time. True Hero yet to set a time. It looks like he is going to go for a one-lap qualifier. Let's see here. Owski coming through. Looking really good. Coming through the final couple turns here. And he is going to put in a 139.2. He is going to improve, but it doesn't look like he's going to improve enough. See, we'll jump on here. Noda still with a 135.8. Vixie is going to be out, it looks like. And it looks like that may be a Ferrari of JJ, who moved over to the side as well. Let's see here. True Hero going through on a flyer. It looks like the Haas of ADGamer is going to be the first person out to set their final flying lap. Crazy Boy is out of the session. We'll see what happened to his teammate here. It looks like his teammate just had a little bit of a spin and totaled his car out, but looks like no harm, no foul. He's off the racing line. Still 60 seconds to go in this qualifying session. ADGamer on his final flying lap, and ADGamer is going to put it into the wall as well. Not sure what happened there. Looks like that is going to be his qualifying over. We're going to jump in with Graxent, the next car on a flying lap. Graxent purpling Sector 1. Looks like he's going to be competing with Noda. JJ out of this qualifying session as well. Coming around, he is coming through. It looks like turn 9 heading towards turn 10 and the turn 11 chicane. Final laps being set here. See what he can do. Coming up to the second of 3 DRS zones. His final DRS zone for this lap. Checkered flag has fell. Maddie, Barthez, Jack, Mathix, and Luo all locked into their places. Purple in Sector 2 for Graxent, looking like a super competitive lap. Just watch him fly through. He is just negotiating really well, riding the curbs, absolutely pushing it, getting as close to the wall as he can. He is trying to make a statement here and beat that Noda's time of 135. Coming through, he is coming around. That is going to be turns 20 and 21. Looking really strong, looking very up, coming through the final couple of turns here, the final kink into the straightaway. And he sets a 135.802. He is going to beat out Noda. Noda is still on his final flying lap, though. It looks like Noda is actually not going to be able to set another lap. So that is going to put Graxent into pole position. Coming around, let's see who else is coming around for final laps. RoLoSky is coming around on a final lap here. Looks like he is going to go purple in the middle sector. Your championship leader is not done with this discussion, though. See, in front of him, we have Wasserschwein and we have Debe. Debe is going into the pits. That is going to be his lap over. Wasserschwein coming around the final couple of corners. Is he going to pit or is he going to set a time here? He's coming around. Looks like he may not beat them, and he spins it off of the start-finish straight. Oh, Wasserschwein, that is his qualifying over. However, we do still have RoLoSky, one of the final drivers on track, coming around, and he is going to put in a 135.2 and absolutely smash the time set by Graxent. Your championship leader is going to be on pole position for your Singapore Grand Prix, up by 0.6 of a second. Take a bow, RoLoSky. Noda into the pits with his teammate Barthez right behind him. That is their qualifying over. Last driver on track is Let's see if we can see who the last driver on track is. Looks like Graxent coming around, but he has set his final time. So this is going to be your qualifying done. RoLoSky, take a bow. 5.5 tenths up on Graxent with Noda in P3. Maddie in 5th place after JJ in 4th, wrecking his car and being out of the session. What an exciting qualifying. Lots of drivers finding the street circuit very tricky. However, RoLoSky putting in the work and coming out on top. Wasserschwein in the Mercedes in P6, Maddie in P5, the Alpines going 10 and 11, Jack in P8 after winning the last race. He'll be a strong one to look at, and he set his time on a set of medium compound tires. So did Debeg, Vixie, True Hero, ADGamer. All of these drivers are going to be interesting to watch and see how they navigate your Singapore Grand Prix. And while we're waiting on the grid to form up, I do want to take a look at a time trial lap that was sent in by JJ. This was a 135.1, faster than what RoLoSky just set. However, this is what the drivers see. This is what their vision looks like while they are running their track and running their laps. You can see that a lot of these drivers are allowed to run racing line, and a lot of them choose to do so through the curves. This is not professional. This is not Jarno Opmeer and Lucas Blakely's. This is drivers who are looking to get to that level. And unfortunately for that, that means sometimes that you need to have a little bit of leniency and run a little assist. But you can absolutely see that it doesn't slow them down. It doesn't stop them. It helps them hit those speeds that your F1 esports drivers can hit. So they're absolutely flying through. You can see JJ in the background while I'm talking is absolutely on a shocker of a lap here. He is going to be nearly 4 tenths up in the first sector alone from his personal best time. He's absolutely pushing. You can see just how close he gets to the walls, how hard he is pushing, and just exactly what he is doing to try to make the strongest time possible for him. Coming through, he purples the middle sector, still up 4 tenths on his personal best. Going through turn 14 here, going into turn 15 through 17. This is going to be the corners that I think these drivers are going to be caught out on, because it's one that if you hit the curves wrong, you can do what JJ did right there and just slightly hit the wall. Same things with turns 18 through 21. I think those will be the turns as well that the drivers really have to watch. Otherwise, they may catch themselves in the wall, ruining their race and potentially others by bringing out a safety car. JJ coming through the final turn. Let's go ahead and jump in. It looks like the grid has reformed here, and it looks like we are going to be ready to go racing here soon. So just to recap your starting grid, we are going to have let's look here. Let's see what tires everyone's on. Let's see what everyone's plan is. So just to recap, we've got RoLoSky in first, Graxent in P2, Noda in P3, JJ in fourth, Maddie in fifth, Wasserschwein in sixth, Barthez in seventh. We've got Jack in P8, Debe in P9, Mathix in P10, Luo in P11, Vixie in 12, True Hero 13, ADGamer in P14. It looks like it's still in the pits. Predicted pit stop strategy powered by AWS. They're saying 1 to 2 stops. Hards to mediums or hard, medium, medium. I wonder what that means for all these drivers starting on softs. Crazy Boy in P15 in the Haas, Owski in P16, Insidious in 17, Pafixi in 18, Sametex 19, and Bartosh in P20, rounding out your grid here for this Singapore Grand Prix. Let's go ahead and just recap back through, see if there's anything interesting. ADGamer getting disqualified from the session. He will not be starting. JJ should be one that we want to watch here. We know him and Sametex are both strong on the street circuits, and this is a street circuit raced at night, so I'm very excited to see what he can put together. No to the McLaren, though. Definitely one to note. Definitely one that we're going to want to watch and see what he can put together as well. I have a prediction that coming into turn 1, him, Graxent, and RoLoSky are not going to give anything up. And it looks like Noda and Graxent both getting disqualified from the session, so RoLoSky is going to be forming up the grid with nobody behind him. So we'll let the grid form up here. We'll see exactly what's happening, and then we'll see how these drivers get underway. Alright, looks like your grid is going to be formed up, and it looks like we are going to have 5 red lights, and we are going to be underway for your Singapore Grand Prix in FRL Season 3, Round 7. It looks like there's absolute chaos off of the start. It looks like the Ferraris get caught into it. It looks like there's a Alpine caught into it, VSC right off the bat, and the drivers aren't 4 corners in. I'm not sure exactly what just happened. Safety car has been deployed. Wow, I am not sure exactly what just happened at the start of that race, but that was chaotic. It looks like one of the Haas drivers got caught on the grid. It looks like some of the other drivers got caught out by that and hit each other. Looks like there was a crunch on the outside wall between, it looked like McLaren's, Alpines maybe. I unfortunately did not see what happened there. Safety car deployed, and we didn't even make it through 4 corners. One lap in, and we have 19 drivers remaining. We'll see how long this safety car lasts. We'll see if any of these drivers on softs take advantage and try to pit to hards. I don't think it would be a good decision at this point to pit so early and compromise your race strategy, especially if you're on softs that have 0 laps on them and are brand new. There's no reason to get off them yet. So it looks like these drivers are just going to take their first couple laps as pace laps. Just relax, get comfortable on the track, and we'll see exactly where these drivers come back in. So just to recap what just happened there, it looks like JJ losing 10 places right off the start, Noda losing 5 places, Maddie losing 5 places off the start, Crazy Boy is down a place. It looks like ADGamer is down 4 places, Owski is going to have a DNF, Luo is down 9 places and is DNF'd as well. Looks like lots of drivers going in the pits. It looks like Mathix, Maddie, Noda, JJ all going into the pits for damage. You can see multiple drivers having wing changes done. However, we are only 2 laps in, so that doesn't mean that this can't get better for these drivers. We've seen tons of things happen in league racing. We've seen drivers go first to last and then come back around and get first place because of something happening. So it looks like JJ is going to be next to last place here. Insidious is going to round out the rear of your pack after 2 laps, 4 corners in FRL at your Singapore Grand Prix. We'll let RoLoSky take us around a lap here. You can just enjoy the view of Singapore. It's an absolutely gorgeous track, one that I know personally I enjoy driving, even though street circuits are not my strong suit. I know a lot of these drivers really enjoy street circuits. Like I've said, Ferrari is one that I would definitely watch out for. Saint X is up 10 places currently, so he's a driver I would definitely take a watch for and see what they do. Looking at the drivers that pitted, we'll see a lot of them going onto the medium or the hard tire. It looks like Mathix and Insidious going to the hard tire. Going to try to play the long game here and see what they can put together. Looks like we'll go around at least one more lap under safety car here. Give these drivers a little bit of time. This will allow them to slowly bring their tires up to temp and go ahead and get comfortable with that. So that way, whenever they go back under green flag racing, it shouldn't be too chaotic of an issue here. Let's see here. Some fun stats for you in FRL Season 3. RoLoSky has finished on the podium 4 out of 5 races. The only race he did not finish on the podium for was Spa, where, again, as we talked about, the weather got crazy, and that's where ADGamer was able to win because he followed the lead of Vixie and Wasserschwein and put on intermediates before anyone else while they were under safety car. Everybody else didn't. A lot of drivers tried to stay out on dry compound tires and spun, and were not able to hold it together here. RoLoSky looking in his mirror, what he's not going to want to see is those dancing bulls of Graxent and Jack right behind him. Behind them is Barthez on the soft compound tires, who will absolutely be pushing to try to get around Jack. After Jack won last race due to RoLoSky collecting 8 seconds of penalties. Luo and Owski, this is definitely not going to be a race they wanted to remember. Luo finishing every race, however, only having 2 races that he finished inside the points, Italy and Spain. Owski DNFing in Silverstone, disqualifying in Monaco, and then finishing 12th, finished 4th in Spain, but then finished 12th in France as well. Definitely needed a strong result from him. He is P16 in the Drivers' Championship standings. Luo is P18. Safety car is going to be in this lap, which will allow these drivers to go ahead and get back underway. Starting single file instead of starting in the grid should allow them to have a little bit cleaner of a getaway here. Shouldn't see anything too crazy happen, so hopefully that will allow these drivers to get going and underway and have a little bit cleaner of a start. And hopefully we won't see any more carnage after 4 more corners, but I hold my breath for nothing. You got Honda power in 1st, 2nd, and 3rd, and then McLaren power, or Mercedes power, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, Ferrari in P8. So definitely going to be interesting to see what these top 3 drivers do, if they try to work together, if they don't. RoLoSky has taken control of the field at this point, so he will bring these drivers around the final corners, and he'll put the field back underway whenever he decides. Looks like Jack and Graxent going past RoLoSky because he slowed down to try to bunch the field up, and he is going to take us back underway. Lap 4 of your Singapore Grand Prix here in FRL Season 3. Looks like going into turn 1, RoLoSky's going to go through. Graxent and Jack are going to stay right on his tail, though. You got Barthez, and you do have some changing up here in the middle of the field. Looks like Pafixian and Bartosz in the back getting past each other. Meanwhile, RoLoSky already building up a 6/10 gap coming through, and it looks like we have a spin back. Insidious has spun and is out of this race. ADGamer in the pits, pitting under the rear end of the safety car. No safety car at this point. It looks like they're going to allow the drivers to go back underway. RoLoSky setting purple in Sector 1, going through, looking through the field. Looks like the closest thing I see is Debe, and that is going to be, it looks like Crazy Boy has spun there in the third sector. He's back underway. And you have Bartosz, who is going to be out of this race, coming through. And it looks like he spun here in the middle sector, going out and just hitting the wall. So it looks like a lot of drivers already out. 4 drivers out in 4 laps. 2 of them out before we could even hit through the first series of corners. And safety car is going to be deployed again on lap 4 of your Singapore Grand Prix. We just seen some drivers pit under safety car. It looks like that would have been RoLoSky, Graxent, Maddie, and JJ. It looks like choosing to go on fresh tires. ADGamer on a fresh set of mediums as well after pitting at the rear end of the safety car. So it looks like JJ, the Ferrari, is going to be at the rear of the field. His teammate Saintex on 4-lap all mediums. Debe on 4-lap all mediums. But it looks like your leader is going to be the Red Bull of Jack coming in. Lap 5, and we've already had 2 safety cars out after some absolute chaos. Luo being unfortunately hit from behind at the beginning of the race and DNFing, and now you have Bartosz, who went into the wall coming around. It looks like that would have been turn, I believe it was coming through turn 7 through 9 that he hit the wall and DNF'd. Be interesting to see his perspective of that. Insidious and Owski, both Alfa Romeos are out of this race, unfortunately. That is not going to help their bid in the constructors' standings. Last place with only 16 points. With half of this season left to go, we have went into the back half. You have Singapore, China, Portugal, Bahrain, Azerbaijan, and Abu Dhabi. The last 6 races of the season coming up. And this is going to set the tone for this back half of the season. I know we interviewed Saintex in the last race, and he was saying the back half of the season was something he was very excited for because they were all tracks he felt personally strong at. So when it looks like so far that is something he's putting together, coming through on lap 5 on a set of mediums. We'll see exactly what he is able to do and where he takes it. Just looking through some of the statistics for the season, it looks like RoLoSky has 4 poles, 4 podiums, 2 fastest laps, and 2 wins so far this season. Saintex having a win, Jack having a win, ADGamer having a win. So it'll be interesting to see RoLoSky's average position being P3. And it looks like the next driver close to him is going to be Saintex. When he doesn't DNF, he averages being in first place. However, RoLoSky not DNFing, finishing in P3 consistently. On lap 6 of your Singapore Grand Prix, most of these laps being completed under safety car. I think we've gotten 3/4 of a lap of running in, so it's definitely been eventful. It's been exciting to watch, so I'm interested to see exactly what comes through here for the rest of this race. Safety car will be in this lap, which means Jack will take control of the field coming through. I believe it's turn 21, and he will be able to set the pace, and we'll see when he decides to get underway. Safety car lights are off. It'll come in, so we're coming through turns 18 and 19 here. So in around turn 21 or 22, the safety car line is right before turn 22. So at any point from turn 22 forward, Jack can go whenever he feels like it. So, and Jack is going to choose to get an early jump coming around, and it looks like that would have caught Barthez off, so we are going to be back underway. You can see in the background, it looks like Vixie did not get a good start as well. So you're going to have True Hero right behind him. True Hero looking to try to get around. Debe right behind him, though, who is not going to let go. Saintex and Pafixian and Noda. This middle front of the pack is going to have a very tight spread. Debe is not keeping up with True Hero, which is allowing the Ferrari of Saintex to try to get right behind him. Looks like a very poor start, and you're going to have Debe under pressure by Saintex coming through here. Going into turn 7, we'll see what happens here. You can see in front of him, True Hero is going to get past Vixie, and Saintex is going to absolutely send it around, and he is going to shut the door. But you have Pafixian, who's also looking, and he's going to hit the back of Saintex coming around, and it looks like Debe is going to get a little loose, and that is going to allow Noda in the McLaren to get by him as well. Back behind him, you can see RoLoSky is absolutely flying by. He's going to try to get around Debe as well here. Debe getting absolutely clobbered off the restart, not able to make anything happen. Meanwhile, in the front of the field, you have Jack, who is up by 0.8 of a second on Barthez. Vixie already dropping 4 seconds back on Barthez, though. True Hero on Noda, on Saintex, on Debe, on RoLoSky. Pafixian is able to get past Wasserschwein. Wasserschwein and Graxent both getting past Mathix here. And Crazy Boy is going to look to do the same here. Is he able to do it? He is definitely able to do it. ADGamer is getting around too. Mathix having an absolute poor run going into the third sector. Coming out of the middle sector. JJ is going to look to get around him as well. JJ trying to take it around the outside, and he is absolutely able to. Mathix getting clobbered off of that restart. Oh, and we're going to see Crazy Boy there spinning in the third sector. You can see Pafixian is missing his front wing, and safety car is going to be deployed right as Jack completes 1 full lap of green flag running. True Hero immediately diving in the pits as soon as safety car was called. Very good decision on his end. And we are on lap 8. We have done 1 full green flag lap and 3/4 of a lap there. It looks like True Hero, Pafixian, Crazy Boy, Maddie all going to be in the pits. Jumping here, Pafixian getting a new front wing. Maddie is still trying to get to his pit box. True Hero coming out. Maddie getting a new front wing. Pafixian with the new front wing. Crazy Boy getting a new wing and going out. And we'll jump up here. Jack completing 1 lap, putting in a 141. However, in vain, as we're 8 laps in. 4 drivers DNF'd. Some crazy crashes there after the first green flag run in the third sector. Maddie getting absolutely clobbered coming through the middle sector, going into the third sector. He's going to be very thankful for that safety car. That'll give him a chance of redemption. Let's look and see where these drivers are at after just 8 laps. Saintex making up 14 places. He is trying to put his contention in for driver of the day. Vixie is up 9 places, though. Jack is up 7. Barthez is up 5. All of these drivers having very strong races so far. Debe is up 3 after starting in 10th. He is now up, or starting 9th. He's now up in the 6th. RoLoSky is down 6 places, but he's already made a pit stop, so I wouldn't count anything against him currently. Graxent and the Red Bulls down 7 places. It'll be interesting to watch him go through. And Vixie retiring from the session. It looks like after he has a little bit of a spin there in the turn 18-19 section. So that is going to be his race over, and that is not something Mercedes wanted to see. We'll see if Wasserschwein can bring it home for them. Vixie currently P19 in the Drivers' Championship standings. 2 DNFs. This will be his 3rd. But when he does finish a race, he does finish in the points. Noda now right back where he started, up in P3. Barthez is still up 5 places. Jack, your leader of the race currently, on lap 9 here of your Singapore Grand Prix, and we are under safety car for the 3rd time this race. You can see the McLaren there of Barthez ghosted through. It looks like he disconnected before the session began, so that is actually an AI that is running his race for him. Unfortunately, that means regardless of where this AI finishes, he will count as a DNF on his race. So recapping after 9 laps here, we'll have 1 more lap of safety car. Jack in 1st, Barthez in 2nd. Noda is 3rd. Safety car is in this lap, actually. A late call to bring the safety car in. I wonder if it'll catch any of these drivers off guard. And Jack is going to go straight underway, bring the field around. He is wasting no time getting going, and that is going to mean we are back under green flag running here in the Singapore Grand Prix on lap 10. Jack bringing it around the 1st corner. Looks like drivers having not a lot of issues getting around. Looks like everything's clean so far through the field. Nothing crazy going on. It does look like Foxxxes and True Hero going around each other. Foxxxes being able to take advantage of the place. It looks like up here we've got Debe and RoLoSky going around. We'll see if anything crazy happens here. And Debe has spun, lost his front wing, but it looks like he may be able to get back going underway and have no safety car here. He is back underway, but he is going to be in the rear of the field. You can see a great battle here between Wasserschwein and Graxent. Wasserschwein getting loose, so that is going to mean he is not able to get that position. Graxent holding on to P6. Barthez and Saintex squabbling here for 3rd place. Looks like Barthez is going to concede the position for now. Puts him into P4. Puts Saintex up into P3. A strong position for Ferrari to be in currently. And you could see RoLoSky going right around Barthez with no issues. So after your safety car restart coming into Sector 3, Jack in P1, Noda in P2, Saintex in P3, RoLoSky in P4, Graxent in 5. Barthez is, of course, ghosted out. I believe I just said that Saintex passed him with no issue. He's ghosted out, so that would mean, of course, he'd pass him. Wasserschwein in P6. ADGamer is going to be basically 7th. JJ in 8th, Foxxxes in 9th, Crazy Boy 10th, Mathix 11th, True Hero 12th, Maddie 13th, and Dave after that disappointing spin is going to be in 14th. Graxent setting your fastest lap down in P5 with a 142. ADGamer is going to get a 3-second time penalty tacked on, potentially for corner cutting. Taking a look back through the field, you can see JJ and Barthez are right on top of ADGamer. Let's jump back here because it looks like JJ is going to be trying to make a move coming through. JJ right behind ADGamer coming through. Of course, no DRS for the first 2 laps after a safety car restart. So these drivers will have to complete 2 full laps before they can get any DRS to help assist with the passes through the straightaways. You can see Saintex and Graxent coming through. Looks like Saintex might have got a little loose, so that is going to let Graxent and Wasserschwein coming through. Wasserschwein is trying to get around Graxent as well. It doesn't look like he's able to make it happen, but Saintex is not letting anything go, and it looks like Maddie in the back has spun. However, Saintex still pushing through. No safety car. It looks like the driver's back underway with no issues. Saintex not letting the Mercedes go. You can see up here, Noda is only 3/10 off of Jack, and RoLoSky right behind him, half a second back. These drivers are absolutely pushing because they know at any second a safety car could come in and absolutely mess their race up. Debe, unfortunately, having that spin, he is way back out of contention. It looks like unless he's going to be hoping for a safety car, because unless there's a safety car, he is going to have nothing to show so far for this race. Jack setting a 141. RoLoSky coming behind it with a 140, though. RoLoSky is absolutely flying on his medium compound tires, trying to push through and push towards first place and get his first place position back. DRS open, and you can see Noda is going to take advantage of it, go around to the inside of Jack and try to push him wide, and Noda is going to be able to hold on to that position. It looks like RoLoSky is going to try to follow him right behind. Is not able to, though. Saintex picking up a 3-second time penalty, possibly for causing a collision. We're not for sure, we're not seeing it back in the back, but Noda picking up the lead here and is going to absolutely try to fly away with the lead. RoLoSky still right on the heels of Jack, though, trying to go around. Looks like this is going to be your closest battle in the field so far. However, we will keep our eyes back on Saintex and Wasserschwein. If that battle gets any closer, we'll jump back and catch up with it. Only 4/10 off between them. DRS open on RoLoSky. Jack, of course, has DRS as well, though, so we'll see. It looks like RoLoSky is able to get right on the tail of Jack, but isn't able to convert. But he's going to push on the inside right here. They're going to be real close, and RoLoSky is going to spin, and that is going to be due to contact with Jack, and that is going to absolutely push RoLoSky back. Graxent's going to be right on his heels too. Is Graxent going to be able to make a pass? Graxent cannot make a pass going into the L section here, or the C section. But Graxent's going around the outside. RoLoSky's still extremely loose, swirling around. Wasserschwein's going to be trying to push to get past them as well. And Wasserschwein is going to get around him on the inside. RoLoSky is going to dive into the pits. It looks like he may have picked up some damage from that collision with Jack and the subsequent hit into the wall. RoLoSky absolutely dropping down the order, so that means that Graxent is going to be up into P3, so it is currently a Red Bull double podium if it were to stay like this. But of course, we're only 13 laps in. There are still tons of things to play for. 13 laps in does not mean this is set. Wasserschwein is only half a second back on Graxent, though. Is Wasserschwein going to try to make something happen here coming through the second DRS zone? DRS is wide open, but he's not close enough to make anything happen. It looks like Foxxxes and Saintex right behind. They're not close enough to make anything happen either. We'll jump on, and he is right on the tail of Graxent, you can see, and he's barely keeping it out of the wall. Graxent getting a little swirly coming through. Is Wasserschwein able to take advantage? He is not. Still pushing, still right on the heels, and you can see Noda and Jack and have just built separation. 2.5 seconds between Noda and Jack, 4 seconds between Jack and Graxent. But what is on your screen right now is going to be the battle between Graxent, Wasserschwein, and Saintex for these top positions. Foxxxes involved as well in the background. Looking back, Foxxxes cannot make it past the Ferrari, but he is going to be right on his heels. Looking further down the order, JJ only a half second off of ADGamer currently. So we'll keep an eye as well and see what they can do. Graxent getting a penalty for corner cutting right there. Wasserschwein is absolutely pushing, trying to get by. You can see just how hard he is trying to throw his car through on the curbs, around the curbs, trying to make something happen. Lots of penalties being handed out for corner cutting on this track as well. Looks like Wasserschwein's going to get a good run through, but Graxent got a little bit better of a run. Even with DRS open, he's not able to make anything happen. But we'll jump back here. Foxxxes right past Saintex, but Saintex is still going to be right on his heels coming through. We'll jump in with Saintex and see if Saintex is going to be able to make something happen. It looks like he gets a little slow coming out of turn 5, and he's not able to make anything happen there. DRS wide open, only 4/10 separating. He's going to need to be a couple car lengths closer in order to take advantage of that, but it looks like that is going to give him great speed, but he is going to go off track right there going through turn 7, going through Barthez, setting a 140.5. We'll jump up here with Wasserschwein, who's only 3/10 off. We've got a yellow flag in Sector 2. Looks like that is going to be for JJ DNFing. We'll jump back with Mathix to see if we can see what happened. Looks like he got a little loose coming out of the final sector. That is his car out, and that is going to be a safety car again. Your 4th safety car in this race in Singapore Grand Prix for FRL. So after 14 laps, Noda in P1, Jack, Red Bull, Graxent, Red Bull, P2, P3, Wasserschwein in 4th place, Befixian in P5, Saintex in P6, ADGamer and Crazy Boy putting on a strong showing for Haas, 7th and 8th, Mathix in P9, True Hero in 10. And it looks like we're going to see a lot of drivers diving into the pits here on their safety car. Noda's in, Jackson right behind him. Noda opting for the hard compound tires. We'll see what Jack decides to put on. He's going to put a fresh set of hards on as well. This should get these drivers all the way to the end. I hope my screen is showing the same thing for you all. ADGamer missing a front tire? I'm not sure what's happening here, actually. Let's see if anyone can tell me exactly what's happening there. Meanwhile, the Haas of ADGamer and Crazy Boy, P1, P2, Mathix in P3, True Hero in 4th, Noda in 5th, Jack in 6th, both of them pitting under safety car. Wasserschwein in P7 pitting onto a fresh set of mediums. Looks like he's going to go for a 2-stop strategy. Graxent in P10 also pitting, and Saintex in P11 pitting as well. Looks like all drivers have pitted so far at least once in this race. So that means every driver is committing to a 2 or a 3 stop to go through the rest of this Grand Prix. Presuming no more safety cars. Of course, if you do have a safety car, it would be smart to pit. Driver I do want to talk about currently, though, is RoLoSky down in last place. Currently, after that little shunt with the Red Bull, it'll be interesting to see how he can pick back up and get back up into first place. We know he has pace. We know that he has a strong drive, so definitely he'll be one to watch and see what he puts together here. You have to love F1 2021 sometimes. I know ADGamer is still running, but he's missing a front wheel. So, but we know he's running, we know he's in P1, but he's missing a front wheel. Not sure what's happening there. You can even see the skid marks coming off of his car when you look at other screens. Looking at pit strategies, Mathic's on 13 lap hards. I wonder if he's going to push, try to go long, and then pit for softs at the end. That would definitely be a good strategy for him to put together. While we're under this fourth safety car so far of your Singapore Grand Prix, something I do want to mention, some different predictions that were put in by drivers going through. RoLoSky predicted to be on podium. Not a surprise. JJ was predicted to be on podium. Looks like that will be one that's not coming to fruition this race. Looks like Saintex predicted to finish 3rd through 6th. I'm going to say Saintex finishes top 3 personally. Looks like Saintex so far is on pace to fulfill that, currently P10. Jumping back here, it looks like Saintex predicted he was going to crash himself in DNF. I'll say Saintex, you should be proud of your performance so far, currently sitting P10. And going through, you are going to have a strong competition here, but the driver predicting they're going to DNF is a little bit funny. We have to be honest. Graxent predicted to be P1 through P3 by Owski. I could definitely see that happening. Currently, Graxent in P9. Noda predicted 2nd through 4th and at least one safety car. That was put in by Barthez. Noda currently sitting P5. He is definitely in a position where he could finish on 2nd place or even in 1st place, depending on how the rest of his race goes. And at least one safety car. I feel like that was a great prediction. I predicted the podium is going to have an Aston Martin and a Ferrari on it, which, by the way, it's looking True Hero MP4 could pull it together and stay on the podium. Saintex, the only Ferrari left in. I need a mega performance from him in order for my prediction to become true. Safety car before lap 5. We had 2 before lap 5. Wasserschwein predicted to be P9. Maddie predicted to be in P6. True Hero predicted to finish top 12. True Hero currently P4, exceeding those expectations. Already seeing some drivers going in and discussing the race start. Looks like there's some discussions on lap 1 if drivers turned in, causing a collision. Just watching back the restart of my end, you can see Owski had to absolutely dive over and miss ADGamer's car, who was stalled out on the start-finish line. And you can see, we're looking at perspective here from Insidious. You can see just drivers absolutely getting clobbered in the beginning because it looks like everybody squeezes up on each other to the right-hand side. Crazy Boy, Pafixi, and Luo all getting involved there. Insidious just absolutely taking the rear end of it there on lap 1. That was that collision to the left-hand side of our screen that we saw. Safety car is in, though. That means ADGamer is going to presume lead of the field here. And after 17, almost 18 laps, we are back under green flag racing again. ADGamer and Crazy Boy, Haas 1-2, currently taking control of your field. Looks like they both got away well here. It looks like back in the back, we're going to see Noda and True Hero and Mathic's all squeezing up on each other. Jack back behind Noda as well, trying to get around Wasserschwein there. Graxent's only a 10th off of Barthez. Barthez is, of course, ghosted again, so it looks like he should have no issues getting past there. Saintex is only 2/10 off of Graxent, though, so it'll be curious to see how he's able to push and get past his car. Foxxxes is only 2/10 off of his teammate RoLoSky, who's only a 10th off of Dave. So it'll be interesting to see how AlphaTauri pull each other through. RoLoSky was on the inside there, and it looks like he got a little swirly, so he's going to lose that there. Dave is able to hold on to that position currently. Wasserschwein and Graxent getting with each other. Saintex taking advantage as well. Saintex right on the rear end of Graxent. Lots of passes going around here right after this safety car. It looks like Jack and Graxent going through, trying to stick back with each other. But Saintex and the Ferrari trying to stay right behind that. You can see Barthez and Wasserschwein right there going against each other. Shockingly, Wasserschwein is not able to get past Barthez. Saintex is still right on the rear end of Graxent, though, coming through. And you can see Noda is only a 10th off of True Hero, absolutely flying through, trying to get something done here. True Hero is only 2/10 off of Mathix, trying to push through and make something happen for his race. Bring home that Aston Martin podium. He could make it to the end on his hard compound tires. It would be a little sketchy. You can see him getting a little swirly coming through the final corner. He is absolutely flooring at full speed coming through. Not able to make anything happen there. We're going to jump back because RoLoSky is less than a 10th off. And him and Wasserschwein are going to get right against each other. Wasserschwein's going to hold on to the position. RoLoSky is going to back out. He knows that that is not a smart move to make right there, and he's going to leave it be. And we have a yellow flag sector 1. It looks like that was True Hero spinning back in the rear of the field. He's back underway. No harm, no foul there. It looks like you can see a lot of chaos going on. Lots of drivers trying to get past each other. We see a little bit of a brake lock up there. It looks like that was from Maddie. And you can see Jack has no front wing now. I'm curious what we missed there. You can see an absolute mess happening coming through there in the middle sector. Jack continuing to drop back places here, losing his front wing. Or, sorry, that is Graxent with no front wing. Holding up his teammate and holding up the two Aston Martins right behind him. Meanwhile, we'll jump up here to the front of the field. You've got ADGamer still holding the lead with Crazy Boy still in second. Mathix in third. Noda in fourth, only a half second behind. Saintex in fifth, still only a half second behind that. If these drivers don't make some moves happen soon, we're going to see a large DRS train start to form. Looking through, 6 drivers out, 14 drivers remain. And you can see Saintex absolutely pushing, trying to get past Noda any way he knows how. Looking to the outside, looking to the inside, looking to the outside, looking to the inside. He just cannot make it happen, but with the help of DRS, can he make anything happen going into this front straightaway? Of course, you don't get DRS here. You get DRS when you come onto the second straight. Still not able to make anything happen. Noda picking up a 3-second time penalty for corner cutting. Going through, still can't make anything happen. We'll look back in a second. RoLoSky only 3/10 back. And Saintex able to take advantage of an error by Noda and get around. Can he get past Mathix as well to take up the third place? Third podium place, and it looks like he's right by him with DRS. He's going to get right past him. No harm, no foul, no issues there. Saintex up into third place in the Ferrari. And you can see both Noda and Mathix going wide, coming through that next corner there. Turn 7. Forgot my corner names for a second. We're going to jump back here with Foxxxes and Maddie and RoLoSky, who are all right around each other. Sorry, Wasserschwein, Foxxxes, and Maddie that are all right all over each other. Yellow flag in sector 2. It looks like that is going to be for McLaren and Ferrari going around of Saintex. And that is going to be another safety car deployed. This will neutralize the field, bring everything back. I didn't see what happened there with Saintex, but I see 3 drivers on intermediates because it is starting to rain. Very good calls coming from these drivers. So this safety car is going to be a very good time. It'll give all these drivers the opportunity to go on a fresh set of intermediates. It wasn't raining, and now it is. Safety car on lap 20 of your Singapore Grand Prix. ADGamer picking up a penalty for speeding in the pit lane. He's in. All these drivers are going to be going in for a fresh set of intermediates, so we're about to have absolute chaos in the pit lane. Let's see what we can pick up on. ADGamer going on intermediates, Noda coming in. Going on a set of intermediates, Foxxxes coming in. Going on a set of hard compound tires. Or a set of soft compound tires. Interesting. I wonder if he thinks the rain's not going to last very long. RoLoSky having to double stack on his teammate. Looks like the Aston Martins are going to have to double stack as well. All the drivers going on intermediates. Foxxxes on a set of softs. I don't know if that was on purpose or if that was in error. Perhaps a very gutsy call coming in from him. We'll kind of stick with him for a second and see how those soft compound tires treat him. You can see Saintex goes on a set of hards. And Barthez went on a set of mediums, so a few drivers still willing to risk it on the dry compound tires. But overall, most drivers deciding to go on the intermediates and play it safe. We are 21 laps into this 31-lap race, 10 laps to go here. So we'll see how long the rain holds out and exactly what's about to happen. You can see it is wet. You can see Foxxxes is getting a little swirly. Let's talk about races where there was rain involved. Spain being a very strong example of what happens when there's rain late into a race and drivers make a wrong prediction, opening it up for ADGamer to win. Wasserschwein finishing in second, and then your third place driver was Noda. All drivers deciding to go on intermediates when the time was right. A lot of times in these races, strategy is what plays in and what decides how you need to race. So it looks like for these drivers, they're going to play the game that intermediates aren't going to last as long, and that you're going to be coming off of those in a few laps, and by the end of the race being on the dry compound tires, which you're going to need to be on. I'm curious to see how this plays out, but I don't know that this was a right call from either of these or any of these drivers. However, it looks like grip-wise, he's not having a lot of an issue. So be interesting to kind of watch. We're going to jump back here with Saintex, who opted onto the hard compound tire, which I don't know if that was a right call. And you can see, oh, not the right call at all. He is DNFing, and I'm sure that the two drivers still on dry compound tires are going to be rethinking that. Barthez, of course, the AI, staying on a dry compound tire. And that is going to be both Ferraris out of the session. Saintex, a driver that was looking very competitive, very strong. It looks like he just made a wrong tire compound call, locked up his brakes. And that is going to be his session over going into turn 14. Foxxxes still staying out on soft compound tires, though. Very gutsy decision. You have to respect it. But I'm still going to question it. ADGamer still holding on to the lead of this race. After every driver pitting for new tires, all but one going to intermediates, of course. ADGamer in first place, maintaining first place, because of course when the entire field pits under safety car, they're going to maintain the order they were in. Noda in second place, the Williams and Maddie in P3, Crazy Boy in fourth, Foxxxes in fifth. He'll be looking to push and have a really strong finish here. Mathix in P6, Wasserschwein in P7, Debe in P8, True Hero in P9, RoLoSky in P10, Jack and Graxent, both Red Bulls down in 11th, 12th. Barthez coming out of the pits, of course, ghosted after he was not able to join the start of the session. His AI going on a set of mediums. This is just comedic to watch at this point. Very interesting to see. So I'm going back and watching this Luo DNF here. You can't see it on your screen. I'm watching it here on the backside because I'm curious to see exactly what it was that happened to him. So watching the Luo DNF coming off of the start here, you can see the chaos in front of him, and he breaks out, and it looks like he gets rear-ended here by... Let's see if we can pick up on who that was that rear-ended him. Looks like that would have been Crazy Boy that runs right into the back of him and just takes him out of this race right in before we could even hit the first corner. So it looks like he believes that that was due to Mathix. So Noda coming into the pits currently while we're still under safety car. Going on to a set of medium compound tires. It looks like some of these drivers are second guessing their decision to be on intermediates. You can see Maddie coming in as well. Going on to a set of softs. The softs should last to the end of the race. Jack on a set of mediums. Red Bull double stacking here, and it looks like Graxent's going to go into a set of mediums as well. Very interesting decisions coming from them. Maybe Foxxxes is pulling what Wasserschwein did back in Spain and is leading the charge here for what needs to be done. 23 laps into this race, and I'm curious to see how this ends. You can still see the track looks visibly damp. There are still a couple of raindrops coming down. However, it looks like a lot of these drivers are second guessing if it is intermediate conditions, and I'm curious to see exactly what happens here. We're going to jump down with Noda and ride on board with Noda for a minute just to see how his car handles. Coming through, I was trying to catch up to the pack, and it looks like maybe a little bit of sliding, but nothing too bad that we're looking at here. So it looks like this may be the right decision for him to make. And this might be the right decision for all these drivers. You can see the track is starting to look like it's drying up. So maybe the safety car coming out when it did is going to actually help out. I don't know how many more laps we're going to be under safety car here. Back here, it looks like Maddie's fine. It looks like Debe on 9-lap-old mediums having to put on a U set of mediums in the pits. Jack and Graxent both going through on a fresh set. And you can see just a little bit of understeer going through, but nothing too severe. ADGamer with a little bit of lag there potentially. Ooh, Foxxxes almost losing the rear end there on his soft tires. Having to tread very carefully, but still thinking he's on the right call here. Safety car is going to be in this lap, and that means that ADGamer is going to be taking control of the field, but he's going to dive into the pits under safety car, so that means Crazy Boy is going to be taking control of the field, and we are now back underway for green flag running. Lap 24 of the Singapore Grand Prix, and he's going to have to defend extra hard against Foxxxes. Foxxxes not able to make anything happen here off the start. Looking in the back, it looks like Crazy Boy is having to defend from Noda. Noda trying to go around the outside on medium compound tires. He makes it happen. Looks like the intermediates have fell off, so Crazy Boy not pitting may have been disastrous for him. Looks like cars are flying right past him on these soft compound tires. You can see back in the back, oh, that was Debe getting very, very swirly back in the back. It looks like he was able to hold it underway though, but it looks like that's not going to be good for him. Jack diving around the inside of Crazy Boy on the intermediates. Looks like the intermediates have faded off. Looks like the rain did not last long enough for it to take any advantage there. Grax getting around as well. Crazy Boy continuing to fall back. We have a yellow flag back in Sector 1. It looks like that is going to be for True Hero, who has had a spin. He is back underway though, no issues there. Foxxxes and bringing the field around. It looks like he has went ahead and assumed the lead for AlphaTauri. Coming around, looks like they're going through turn 13 of 23 turns here. We'll see if the drivers can keep it clean enough to maintain for the rest of this race. You can see a large gap is already built up back to Mathix between the rest of the cars here. Debe coming through, looking to get around Crazy Boy. He's going to dive around the inside. Very dangerous decision there in turn 14. He makes it happen, though. Crazy Boy dropping down to 7th place. After starting in the lead, he'll be needing the pit at the end of this lap in order to get going. We'll jump back up here, though, with Maddie, who is a half second off of Noda, who's a half second off of Foxxxes. They are going to stay right behind each other. We'll see if anyone can make anything happen coming into these final laps of your Singapore Grand Prix. Drivers finally released from the hold of safety car. We've had multiple safety cars this race. Looks like Foxxxes is still holding on here, coming through the first 4 corners. And it looks like Noda is still trying to make that happen, but is not close enough. Of course, you don't get DRS until the second lap after a safety car. And you do see that Crazy Boy is in the pits. We'll see what tires he decides to go on and see what that does for his race. But it looks like for Haas, that tire decision may have been detrimental to them in their race. Of course, Crazy Boy ADGamer coming in at the tail end of the safety car, so he loses all of his positions as the field goes by. And then Crazy Boy pitting now after safety car, so losing all of his. Still looking very strong. It looks like True Hero may have had another spin in the first sector coming out, going into turn 4, but it looks like they got back underway. No issues there. We'll jump back in. Foxxxes is absolutely running away with 6 laps to go here in your Singapore Grand Prix. Noda in second place, though, is not trying to let him run away and is trying to hold on to him. Only 3 tenths back, continuing to try to push there. It looks like this is going to be your closest battle here. P1 through 4. Jack in 5th place has already fell 6 seconds off of his teammate, or Graxent 6 seconds off of his teammate Jack. Maddie in 3rd place. Noda in 2nd. Foxxxes in 1st. We're going to jump in. We're going to see if Noda can make anything happen here on Foxxxes and try to get around him. Coming in the 3rd sector, coming up to your main straight with DRS. We'll see here. Noda should have DRS. DRS wide open. DRS not on the front stretch. That's my fault. So they'll get DRS coming in after turn 5, going down the 2nd straight. Looks like drivers are starting to set really competitive times. Wasserschwein setting in a 1:40.0. And you can see Noda gets around the outside. Foxxxes, and they touch, and that is going to be Noda's spun. Oh. Went for a very gutsy move on the outside, wasn't able to make that stick, and that unfortunately is going to unwind his race there from what he wanted to see. We're going to stick with your top 3 here for a little bit of time. We're going to see if Foxxxes is able to get past Maddie. Maddie coming out through all of that because Foxxxes had to slow down after his collision with Noda to make sure he didn't hit Noda. So Maddie taking over your lead. Foxxxes in P2, who we know is very quick and isn't going to let Maddie get away. And then Jack back in 3rd place in the Red Bull after winning the last race is going to be trying to look to push and make it 2 in a row potentially. Not getting any interval data here. There it is. It looks like it's picking back up. We're resetting. Back in the back. So Noda has dropped almost 6 seconds off of your lead pack after his collision with Foxxxes. Let's see, Graxent is 5 seconds behind him as well. We'll jump back here because it looks like Debe has a battle on his hands here with RoLoSky. Absolutely. Oh! Wasserschwein in the back, losing it on the final corner, and he is going to be out, and that is surely going to be a safety car right on the pit straight. And Wasserschwein is back underway. He is so lucky to have not lost his car in that, but jumping back in, it looks like RoLoSky was able to make the move happen on Mathix and Debe. So RoLoSky up into 6th place here, but he has over 20 seconds to make up to catch up to the lead pack. Yellow flag coming through in Sector 1. It looks like that is going to be for Wasserschwein, moving very slowly through there after that crash. Jack half a second back on Foxxxes, who's half a second back on Maddie. DRS wide open. We'll see if Foxxxes is able to make anything happen here. And he's not able to in this instance, but he does have the 3rd sector to go through. If he can stay close, he may be able to make something happen in the 3rd sector, or even stay close enough to make it happen on the pit straight. You can see the Red Bull of Jack just right on his tail, giving nothing up. Maddie is pushing to try to make this gap build out. at 8/10, not far enough away to not give Foxxxes the help of DRS, but just far enough away Foxxxes won't be able to make anything happen here. Notice that's a 139.3. Going to be your fastest lap of the race. 3 laps to go here for your Singapore Grand Prix. And it looks like right now this is the biggest action going on track. If you were thinking about going anywhere thinking this race is over, don't, because of course it just takes one little slip, one little mistake from any of these drivers to throw this race completely upside down on its head. Jack is right behind Foxxxes and is not going to let anything happen here. Looks like True Hero DNFing there on the final straight. Looks like he may have pulled a Wasserschwein and spun. We're not going to be able to see, unfortunately, but it looks like that is going to be that. Sticking around here, Jack only 2/10 off of Foxxxes, and we're going to stick with him and see if he's able to make anything happen. Of course, Foxxxes has DRS off of Maddie, so that sort of DRS advantage you get is going to be negated. So he's not able to make anything happen there. He is right behind him, though, coming through. I mean, just look at that. His wing could just touch the rear tires at any point. So we'll see if going down the main straight, if Maddie can't build a gap on Foxxxes, and it doesn't matter what Jack does, it's going to be very hard for anything to happen there. We'll jump in here on the main straight and see what they're able to do, because it looks like Foxxxes is trying to get close enough to Maddie to make a move, and Jack is just right on him. Some absolutely impressive driving from these two Honda-powered cars. 2 laps to go for your Singapore Grand Prix here in FRL, and you can just absolutely see Jack is just not letting anything go. Only a 10th back. RoLoSky setting in a 138.9. That's around 3 seconds faster. But look at Jack, who's going to dive around what will be the outside of Foxxxes, and Foxxxes just lets the move go. He's not able to battle it, but Foxxxes is going to stay right behind Jack and try to make something happen again to get past him. Jack has been unleashed to go after Maddie here in the final 2 laps. We'll see if he's able to make anything happen, or if Maddie can put on the defense of his life in that Williams and hold on to this. We're going to stay tuned in right here for this and see what happens here. Just right behind him coming to the 3rd sector, just not giving Maddie room to breathe. Maddie is having to drive on the edge of his capabilities at all times, and he is impressive, I must say, just not letting anything go. But only a 3/10 gap right here, and his 7/10 gap back to Foxxxes. Foxxxes starting to drop away from Jack. Looks like he's going to have DRS on this straight, but just barely. Jack has DRS on Maddie, 2/10 back. We'll see if that's going to be enough for Jack to make anything happen here. And he's so close, but not enough. You can see Maddie recharging his ERS, going down that straight, trying to build up to put a defense here in the final couple of laps. Meanwhile, further back, Graxent just got passed by RoLoSky, it looks like. RoLoSky has 17 seconds to build on Noda. I don't think he can do that in 2 laps, but hey, I've been wrong before, so don't quote me on that. Meanwhile, Jack getting past Maddie, putting Jack up into 1st place. Absolutely released. Maddie is now going to have to defend from Foxxxes here in the final few corners and see if he's able to hold on to this here. And Noda right on the rear of Foxxxes. I'm not sure if Foxxxes is carrying damage, but he has been slowed down a lot. So we're going to keep our eyes. Noda taking a slight peek on the inside, but not making anything happen. You can see he is right against the rear wing of Foxxxes, and DRS wide open. Surely he's going to be able to get him going down this straight. He is going to be right on the outside. They're going to be side by side going into the turn, and it looks like Noda just keeps it off the wall, and Noda is able to get past Foxxxes down into P4 with 2 laps to go. Jumping back up, Jack in first place coming around with only a little over a lap to go coming into the third sector. Very impressive driving from the Red Bull driver, winning last week's race after RoLoSky picking up 8 seconds in penalties. So this will be one he definitely wants to put down. Jack currently in second place in your Drivers' Championship, the only driver that can put any competition to RoLoSky. Of course, RoLoSky can DNF and then still hold on to his place, but this is going to allow Jack the opportunity to absolutely eat into that championship lead that RoLoSky has and see if he can put a charge back in that Red Bull. Jack with 3 podiums to his name this season. This will be his 4th and his 2nd win, matching RoLoSky for the number of wins this season and absolutely cementing him as the main competitor for RoLoSky. Coming around in the second sector, just comfortable driving from Jack, nothing crazy, nailing the strategy when he needed to nail it, doing exactly what he needed to do. It's impressive from these drivers whenever things just line up perfectly. Of course, sometimes it doesn't, and then you have situations like Saintex, JJ, and the Alfa Romeo drivers, and sometimes it just doesn't line up, but when it does, it is absolutely brilliant. It's been an impressive drive from Jack so far this race, you have to say, but don't count out Noda. Noda and Maddie are still fighting for the final couple of places here. They are trying so hard to get by. Noda just absolutely can taste that second place finish, which for Noda would be absolutely essential for him in the Drivers' Championship because he is P3. He is trying to get past Jack in the championship, but meanwhile Jack coming around the final couple of corners, and he is going to be your winner of your Singapore Grand Prix, this round 7 of your FRL season 3 race. Noda is going to bring it home in P2. Maddie is going to be in P3. Foxxxes in 4th. RoLoSky, putting on an impressive comeback drive, is going to bring it across in P5 on track. But with penalties applied, he is going to put it in 4th place. Foxxxes is going to come around in 5th. It looks like they inverted right at the end for the championship. A great show of sportsmanship by the AlphaTauri drivers. Graxent comes home in P6. Mathix is going to bring it home in P7. We'll wait and see what the final places show up. Foxxxes falling down to P7 after penalties. Debe is down in P10, bringing it around. It looks like ADGamer is going to come home in P7, actually. Looks like a lot of different things happening. Crazy Boy DNFing in the final lap. Wasserschweins came across. Debe is going to be the final driver to cross the finish line coming around, and that is going to end your Singapore Grand Prix in this 2021 Season 3 of FRL. Driver of the day going to Foxxxes, and well deserved, especially after that show of sportsmanship, letting his teammate by to help his teammate maintain a larger gap in the championship standings from this man right here, Jack. P2 in the Drivers' Championship and cementing the reason that he deserves all the praise. Jack, his 2nd win in a row, his 4th podium of the season. Very impressive showing from this Red Bull driver. Exciting to watch, and I can see some exciting things coming from him in future seasons. Looking at the standings here, lots of penalties being handed out. Jack in 1st, Noda in 2nd, Maddie in 3rd, RoLoSky 4th, Graxent, Mathix, ADGamer, Foxxxes, Barthez, Debe, Crazy Boy, Wasserschwein, True Hero, Saintex, JJ, Vixie, Bart, Haas, Insidious, Owski, and Luo all DNFing. Not the races those drivers would have wanted, but you have to give congrats off to Jack. Absolutely impressive from him. So, an eventful Grand Prix there. Absolutely loved watching that. Loved looking at that. That was a great show from these drivers there. Let's see here if we can get any drivers to jump in and chat about the race with us. So we'll pull over, it looks like. We'll see what happens. Just hang with us for 1 minute. We'll be back with some post-race discussion.
He's behind me.
Yeah.
So every time we pit, he was the one suffering.
Yeah, that was it was interesting to watch your all's race. First of all, congrats, Jack.
Thank you.
On your second first place finish in a row.
Yeah.
Just kind of looking, it seemed like the rain in the middle really caught a lot of people out. So I don't know if it was something that just the rain on your safety car threw people off or what happened.
Well, I mean, Jeff, like, we kept asking for the weather report because it said it was gonna rain for around like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And you know, he kept saying 5 minutes, 10 minutes, you know, and then it actually, so the safety car, it actually came. I wasn't surprised. I was just gutted it was on the safety car.
Yeah, which
the rain.
There were a lot of safety cars this race, I will say that.
Yeah.
It was kind of impressive
One
to
too
watch.
many.
So
It was kind of depressing to drive.
Yeah, I can only imagine. So the chaos in the first corner is something that I definitely wanted to add, or the first lap. I know it kind of happened behind you. Did you see anything that happened there? Do you have any clue what happened?
Well, I was behind it on the start. I was just, you know, trying to keep turn 1 safe because usually I get damage on turn 1. And then, so I was just playing safe. And then I saw a Ferrari go into the wall with like a McLaren and others. I was so shocked. And it was so surprising.
It was it was kind of scary to watch on my end. I was really scared watching it because I couldn't keep up with what was going on. Noda's going to join us as well. Hey Noda, how are you doing?
Quite good.
Are you happy with the race? How are you feeling?
Well, I'm quite happy with what I got. That P2 is a solid result for me. But yeah, I'm still unsatisfied with this because I know that yeah, I could just manage to get P1, but yeah, that's just racing. You have to deal with it. And yeah, that wasn't the luckiest race for me, and I also did some faults to the other drivers. yeah, I also ruined a couple of races probably, or made it like more difficult. And yeah, the the tire strategy was such a mess. I boxed for inters and I just asked Jeff every 5 seconds what to do. And when I said, okay, let's just box for mediums, I got out of the box and he said that dry tires are actually quicker. So yeah, that was it was a lucky
Oj, nu
part of
helar
this
inte
race.
mig
But
här.
yeah,
Ja,
it
jag
all
blev, jag blev
started before
DNFad av någon.
turn one where
Nej,
JJ
sorry.
spun, and yeah, he took me with him. But yeah, that's just first lap, and
Oj, det är redan problem
he
här.
couldn't do anything.
Ja, jag
I
blev
think that
DNFad av någon.
I can tell that that's 100% his fault, and yeah, he definitely didn't do that intentionally. Yeah, and later on, I tried to just cover the loose I have, just get the positions, and yeah, a lot of drivers have boxed, so it was quite an easy thing to do with later 4 safety cars. Yeah, and on the like second part of the race, on these mediums after this rain came, I had really good pace, and yeah, I just went for it with Perfixan. And we were just fighting. That's a street circuit, so yeah, we can't like imagine that the second driver just stops and wait for us to just go. Yeah, and we had a collision. I got spun, and I had 6 seconds gap to third place, who was Jack. And yeah, and Jack was stuck between behind Perfixan and Mati, so I just tried to like take profits from it, and yeah, still like got this gap to when I overtook Perfixan, and yeah, I just got Mati by the penalties, and when Jack got past Perfixan and Mati, he escaped me. But yeah, anyways, P2, I think that's not a bad result. With the overall of this race, it was such a crazy race. Yeah, that's just what I expected from the Singapore Grand Prix. So
Yeah.
yeah. So yeah, I think that's all.
It was there was a lot to keep up with, I will say that. There was a lot of trying to figure out exactly what was happening and kind of keep my eyes on it a lot, because it was like 1 second somebody was running great and then they get loose and then they drop down like 8 positions. So overall, strong races from everyone. Lots of drivers DNFing. With your teammate, Noda, did he not start, or what was it? Because I realized like halfway through the race that he was ghosted out, but I wasn't sure what it was that happened.
Well, it was such a crazy situation, to be honest, because in the qualifying, he said that he has a lot of lags. His game is very laggy, and yeah, just out of nowhere he has lags in Singapore, and yeah, that's again unlucky for him. So he decided to restart the game. That was a good idea, but still he couldn't just manage to like do a lap. He did a lap. He qualified P7, and he like took control of his car on the start when the lights went out. Yeah, but he was a ghost all the time, and he couldn't do anything with it. Yeah, and that was a good thing and a bad thing in one, because he just could overtake anyone, yeah, without just any effort. He had just to be faster. But yeah, also faster drivers could easily manage to overtake him. But yeah, he finished P9, so I think that it's not also a bad result after all this going there. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Not bad at all from you and your teammate. Now, Jack, I want to ask you. So I'm looking through, and I'm gonna put it up on stream. You may remember it. Your lap 12 contact with RoLoSky.
It's just looking at that.
Yeah, I've got it pulled up from RoLoSky's perspective here that he posted. It looks like you all had contact there going through, and it put him into a barrier. Just kind of looking at it.
I don't think I was at fault there. It's like it's a hard corner to get right, and it's even more hard for someone to try and make a move on you in that corner. And if you see, I didn't actually move on him. It's just he went for a very tight gap.
Yeah. I was going to ask you, do you feel that he went for a gap that wasn't there, or do you feel you squeezed him in any way?
No, I don't feel like I squeezed him. I think he was just being a bit aggressive and, a bit desperate for the position. I mean, I won't blame him. He's like the leader of the championship, but, I feel like that's not a corner to make a move on.
For sure.
Like, even if you, get better exit, I just don't understand how you can make an overtake in that corner.
Yeah, it's a tough corner to pass on. I'm trying to think if we saw any passes after the go through that corner overall. I don't think we did. So
yeah, it's just one of those corners you can't really overtake on, and
yeah, for sure.
I don't feel like I'm at fault, in that situation.
I got you. Graxent, Noda, do you all have any input on it? Any opinion on what happened?
Yeah,
I will just watch it.
I'm about to put my point of view in right now, and I didn't squeeze him because it's like a left-hander into the right-hander, and you gotta turn a bit, and so
yeah, I would
feel
also agree with you, Jack, because that's not quite a corner to overtake, as you said, and RoLoSky just went for a gap, but the gap, I feel that it wasn't there. I mean, there's not any car wife. You couldn't do anything. You just it's hard to say. We would
just want to
see
just
your
play a
point of view,
second.
I think, but
Yeah, I'm just about to publish my point of view in discussion.
yeah, but I think from the RoLoSky point of view, I think that that wasn't Jack's fault 100% there.
Yeah, I don't disagree with you. So on the stream in the background, I've got the stats that Debe posted earlier this week, comparing the different, comparing everyone's team ratings right now. So where you compare to your teammate. And one of the things that I thought was really interesting, kind of looking through everything. So RoLoSky has 152 laps completed, Foxxxes 131. Jack, you've got 130. Graxent, you're at 103, and then Noda, you are at 149. So I would consider all three of you to be seasoned drivers in this league. Back half of the season, what's kind of going to be your all's goals? How do you think the back half of the season is going to go? We've got China next week, and then we've got Portugal, Bahrain, Abu Dhabi. Are those tracks that you all kind of excel at, or what do you think is going to come out of the season here?
Well, who wants to go first?
I mean, I go first.
Okay.
I think Portugal is a nice track to drive, like the roller coaster. I think I feel good there to drive there, and I hope I can fight back to the top. I think now I'm still 5 in the championship or 4. I don't know. But I hope I can catch RoLoSky. This race in the start, I was almost catching him in the first corner. He blocked me a little bit, but that was all good. It was not that risk that I have damage or something. But yeah, this race was for me I don't know. 4 safety cars also, so it was not that
5
fast race
actually.
I have.
As I say, there were 5 or maybe 6. I lost count eventually. So
Me too. And also, Jack was pitted in front of me, so I also lose a lot of
I had a
time.
5-second time penalty as well, so I had to serve that in the pits, and he had to suffer because of it.
Oh
And then
man.
the last safety car come out, and I go in with Jack then, and out of the pit I crash into the wall. Like I got a little bit damage, like little green, but that costs you so much space. And still top 5, so it's pretty good after all.
Um,
for me.
my goals are just, like I said last stream. I'm hoping to, catch RoLoSky and win the championship, because right now I'm gaining quite a few points on him, and I also think me and Graxent can win the constructor championship, because Perfection seems to be picking up a lot of time penalties recently, and
Yeah.
that's costing him places. And we're only 42 points sounds like a lot, but it really isn't. Like 5-6 races to go. I feel like it's definitely doable to catch AlphaTauri and catch RoLoSky.
Yeah, for sure. Noda, what's kind of your big goals for the season?
Well, I would say that in the Drivers' Championship, I'm in a place where I would like to stay. It will be a really hard thing to do because there are quicker drivers behind me, like Graxent, for example, or Sentex and JJ. Yeah, the Ferrari duo also hasn't got any luck there on track. But yeah, I think that P3 is a really good place, and I would like to stay here for a while. And about Constructors Championship, I think that we are also happy with what we've got, because we are on P3, and right now we are extending our gap on Ferrari. So I think that's yeah, a solid thing to build a gap on.
For sure.
And about future races, well, China, Portugal, and Bahrain aren't the tracks that I like. We don't like each other with those tracks. Definitely, I just don't feel Portugal in this game. I don't know why, but yeah, I just can't get the pace down there. It's like, maybe it's not a hard track for me, but yeah, I just don't have pace there. Maybe it's the thing of setup, or I'm just driving bad there. Also Bahrain, maybe I don't have such a bad pace, but I just don't like this track. And the same thing with China. My pace is okay, I would say, but still, this track is just not for me, I think. So yeah, like 2 last tracks there, Azerbaijan and Abu Dhabi. Those are the ones that I'm waiting for. Remembering Abu Dhabi as my last victory, so yeah, I'm looking forward for these tracks. But yeah, I think that in the standings, I would like to stay where I am right now.
Yeah, for sure. Just looking through, it's so RoLoSky has a big gap, and then it seems like Jack, you've built up somewhat of a gap here, but then 3rd place back through 7th, so Noda, Wasserschwein, Graxent, ADGamer, Perfection, and I'll even throw Maddie in there at 28 points. There's only 10 points separating 3rd through 8th, so I'm really interested to see where this battle goes. I feel like 1 and 2 in the last couple races may get super close if RoLoSky keeps having sort of situations happen like what he did last race, and then just kind of where he fell back on this race, which Perfection and inverting with RoLoSky at the final corner was, I kind of predicted it. I didn't think it was going to happen, but I definitely understand why he did that, to try to help RoLoSky there in the Drivers' Championship. Graxent, just hypothetical for you, if you were in a situation like that with Jack, would you invert with him?
Well, me, I mean, I would divert with him. Like, I feel like we're very good teammates. We think of the team instead of, ourselves. Like earlier, I I felt like I had no pace because my rears were overheating. I was asking him if he wants to, you know, overtake me,
Yeah.
and I can just let him. He had a red wing. I had a slightly damaged wing too, and he let me pass as well. So I feel like we we're like we're quite good teammates, and we think of the team.
Yeah, for sure. Noda, is that something that you think carries through multiple teams, kind of doing the team thoughts? If your teammate's behind you and he's leading or he's in a tight battle, you know, inverting to give them the points advantage.
We were trying today to keep our teamwork as hard as we could, but yeah, Barges as a bot couldn't do much there. I tried to like stay behind him to block the other drivers, but I think that Bartes will also improve, and I think that our teamwork is a really good thing. And I also think that Ferrari and Red Bull are a good teams, where both drivers are in a really good relations with each other, and like they can work with each other to have the best, not only for themselves but also for the team.
For sure, I agree with that. Definitely, I think at the end of the day, if you have two strong teammates kind of doing what's best for the team can be the best decision that you can put together. So definitely, you know, when it comes down to like a tight championship, same thing that Mercedes does in real life, where Valtteri and Lewis invert. I know they did it today going into turn one. Where'd they even race today? Brazil. So, and it's one of those things that's interesting to see implemented in league racing. I don't think a lot of people think of it in league racing, but it's something that when you see it implemented, it's pretty cool to see. One more topic I'm going to touch with you all on, unless you have anything else regarding this race you want to discuss. Anything else this race you want to say, touch on? Looking forward to throwing this one in the trash can and getting ready for China.
So much more painful in Spain. It can't get any more painful. 5 safety cars. Half the time you were like braking, and you weren't. It was just so tiring.
Yeah.
A race that you all want to put behind you.
Yes, for sure.
Let's take a break really quick then from talking about current FRL and current racing. Let's jump to the future. Season 4 got announced this week. 14 races starting January 9th, moving through some big tracks like Spa, Coda. I believe France makes a comeback next season, if I'm not mistaken. Monaco, ending in Silverstone. Have you all looked at Season 4? Are you excited for Season 4? Like the calendar, hate the calendar?
I'm very excited for season 4. You've got some very nice races on there. It's a lot. It's a better calendar than this season. You've got, you know, I love Italy. I love Belgium. I love Mexico, Netherlands, Austria, Jeddah. Japan, I'm not really a big fan of, but you know, I won't mind driving it. And then you got Portugal, Russia. I like as well, surprisingly. US. It's just a very fun calendar, except from Hungary. Yeah, and maybe Monaco. Monaco is just pain as well, but I think it will be a very fun season, and I feel it'll be a lot more closer than this season as well, because you know people would have a lot more experience on the game, and you know it would cause for more battles, closer standings and everything.
Yeah, for sure. Graxent, Noda, do you all want to give your feedback on the Season 4 calendar?
No, I'm not really busy about it. I'm still here at season 3. Yeah. But I think it's gonna be good season also. Season 4 is nice track, not always the same, like that we have a season 2 and season 1.
Mhm.
I really like it. So the new tracks, yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Like Saudi Arabia. the track name together. I look forward to.
I got you.
I
And
hope it's gonna be a good season.
yeah, for sure. And then Noda, you want to give any feedback on season 4? Anything you're looking forward to?
Well, for this moment, I have the same opinion as Graxent that I'm focusing on season 3. But I'm happy that we will have like 3 weeks break mid seasons because it will be like a time to just get like hard reset of our minds, because it's not an easy way to it's not an easy thing to drive there. There's like a lot of emotions going on, but yeah, generally speaking, the calendar of season 4 is not bad. There are some tracks that well, I don't like, but still
Like what tracks?
but still I think that yeah, it will be a good season. Looking at the tracks, most of tracks are fun tracks like Imola. Oh my god, I love Imola. But yeah, there are also tracks that I don't like, but yeah, I think that I'm like positive on season 4.
I got you. One last thing touching on season 4, I know they announced that we're going to introduce the second split, which is going to allow full assist. And then that'll give everyone the opportunity to kind of work with that. It's going to be ran before, and drivers can't participate in split 1 and split 2 as full racers. If you do split 2, you have to be a reserve. Are you all looking forward to the addition of the second split, or do you all plan on participating, moving into it? What's kind of your feedback on adding that? Because I know, especially in the server, we've added like 50 people to the server in the past week or two. So I know we have a lot of drivers that are probably going to be looking for spots next season. What's kind of your all's opinion on the new split? Is that something you're excited for?
I think it's a very nice feature, you know, because some people just can't catch up with the front runners, like some of the front runners. I think it'll be fun to watch as well, seeing that close battle in split 2 for championship. Because I feel that would be more closer and like fighting and standings wise than split 1.
For sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that is good. Yeah, I think the F2 are we get really close to each other. I think now it's like you have the top 5, top 6, and yeah, that's it. You know, but like crazy races like this, it can be different, of course. But I think it's cool what F2 do.
Yeah, I also think that split 2 is a good idea because the league is still developing, and as like Jack and Graxen said, we have a lot of differences right now. Yeah, there are just some better drivers and some worse drivers with worse pace, and the split 2 will be a place where those drivers can also improve. We also have some new drivers, and I think that they will like our community, and yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Guys, I'm going to let you all go. I know it's late for you all. I appreciate you taking the time to stop by and talk and kind of give your thoughts after the race. It's always cool to hear from the drivers directly kind of how the race was for them, because for me, it's always exciting to watch and commentate on, but sometimes for you all, there's a different perspective, a different feeling, so it's always nice to have you all stop by and kind of discuss it. I'm sure you all are gonna have to go talk to the stewards a little bit about some of those incidents we discussed, and whenever the results come out tomorrow, I'll look forward to seeing where you all finished finally. Jack, I hope you kept your win. Graxent and Noda, I hope you all kept your places. Hopefully make up some places depending on what comes out. But I do appreciate you all stopping by, and I'll let you all go for your night, okay?
Alright, thank you. Bye.
Awesome. Thank you all for stopping by.
Yeah.
Alright, see ya.
See ya. All right, so that is going to be your round 7 finished. You heard from the drivers. It's one they want to forget. Definitely a fun race for me, not so fun for them. Just looking through, Jack continuing to push and get his lead back on RoLoSky. Noda pushing to catch up with Jack. Graxent looking to make up places on Wasserschwein in the Drivers' Championship. Constructors-wise, McLaren looking to push and catch up to Red Bull. Red Bull trying to keep their gap and push towards AlphaTauri. Like you heard Jack say, Foxxxes with his last couple races not bringing in enough points. Red Bull both having a strong finish here. Both drivers with lots of podiums put in. But still, who can stop RoLoSky? Jack is the only driver that is remotely close, and even then, he's not that close. So it's definitely interesting to sit back and watch and kind of gauge what's happening and see if they can make anything happen there. Alfa Romeo, another disappointing race for them. Ferrari, another painful race to watch for them. This is going to be one that I know they're going to want to forget, both of them. Saintex looking very strong through this race. Just JJ looking strong. It's painful for them. I do feel for the Ferrari drivers. Our interview last week with Saintex, we heard in his voice that it was one that he was not enjoying. I'm hoping he can kind of sit back and get the reset and come back strong next week. Debe and True Hero and Aston Martin, drivers that on paper don't seem that they're performing, but in the race you can see hints of just absolute impressiveness. Williams and P7 in the constructors, Maddie and Bartosz, amazing drives. I mean, absolutely impressive. Maddie with his first podium, I believe. Yeah, this was Maddie's first podium, so it's one that he's absolutely going to want to remember. But of course, this isn't the end-all be-all. Tons of reports, tons of different things that we can look at, and the stewards will spend tonight and tomorrow discussing. So come back tomorrow, check the video description. It's going to have your final finishing places. Who knows? Jack could completely lose his podium and be in last, but it'll be interesting to see. Next week we have China. I don't know how the drivers feel about China. I know how I personally feel about China. And if the drivers don't like China the way I don't like China, it's going to be one that they're going to go in, want to go, and go through. Beyond that, you've got Portugal, Bahrain, Azerbaijan, Abu Dhabi. All races that they're going to be looking to go through and push. So hopefully the rest of this season will finish on high notes for some of these drivers. Because these drivers all are also racing for their spots for next season. You got to remember that these drivers have to complete so many laps in order to stay in for next season. So if they don't, then they can lose their seat to other drivers. So it'll be interesting to see how hard they push and what drivers will stop taking risk in order to sit back and go through. If you've been reading the stats on screen, it's definitely been interesting to see the split between drivers. A lot of teams very evenly matched, but some of them are just absolutely impressive compared to the others. RoLoSky compared to Foxxxes, Jack and Graxent, very solid spread. Very evenly matched they are. But if you look at like Saintex to JJ, Jack to Graxent, I thought it was interesting to see Maddie to Bartosz. Wasserschwein to Vixie, that's a very interesting one to see. I mean, it's just a lot of these drivers are racing for more than just the season and their place in the constructors. For some of these people, it's going to be next season. Like I said, we have over 50 people that have joined the server. If you haven't joined the server, link in the description, definitely go check it out. We'd love to have you in. We love to see strong racers, and we would love to have more people join in, have a second split, maybe even a third split. You never know. But anyways, this is where I'm going to end it off here for your round 7. It's been very interesting to watch on my end. The drivers didn't think so, I did. And it'll be interesting to see what the stewards decide and where the final race comes out. I'm going to kick it over to the outro. Next week, China, same time, same place. Tune in, come watch. Hopefully you enjoy. And this is going to be where I end this off. while you have all that happening, and ADGamer in the Haas is gonna win the Spanish Grand Prix in your FRL League, round 5. Inside of Parabolica. Oh, and that is the Williams and Bartosh going around wide, but he gets past the Red Bull, so it works. Red Bull's going to try to get the Haas. They're going to go 3 wide into turn 1. Wow. Are they still holding it? Nope, they're back 2 wide. Williams is still going to try to push it around the Red Bull. Red Bull's going to shut the door. They're going to keep it going. Graxent holding his place.